So thank you for joining. Take your time with your yoga practice. This is yours. There's no race or hurry, so allow yourself to just have fun. So we'll start in a comfortable seated position. You're probably going to hear the dog munching on his toy, but just try to dial that out. So maybe sitting cross-legged and close the eyes if that feels comfortable. If not, you can either gaze at the tip of your nose or just a spot on the floor in front of you. And as you sit here, allow the spine to lengthen up towards the ceiling and let there be space between your ears and your shoulders. Maybe you tuck the chin just a little bit so the back of your neck gets nice and long. And allow your hands to gently rest on your knees. And notice the fingertips. So if you've got a tight grip with the fingertips on the knees, maybe allow all 10 fingers to lift up on a deep breath in. And on an exhale, gently let your fingertips drop back down towards your knees. And let your elbows be relaxed. And let's start breathing. And if you'd like to take any gentle movements here, maybe allowing the upper body to move in some circles. And as you breathe, take a long breath in through the nose, nice and slow. And then a long exhale out through your mouth. So as we begin to slow down the breath, begin to slow down our mind as well. So why don't we do that 3 more times? Your breath, your pace. And just notice how you're doing today, how you're feeling. Simply just allowing yourself to become aware of that. Last time here, take a full deep breath in through the nose. Hold for a few seconds. And a slow, long exhale out through the mouth. And then gently go ahead and blink your eyes open. Let's go ahead and roll your shoulders up towards your ears on an inhale. And then as you exhale, roll them back and down the back. And again, a couple more times. Inhale, let the shoulders lift up. And exhale, shoulders sink down. One more time. Inhale, hug the shoulders up. And exhale, lower them down. And then letting the hands rest on the on your knees. Take an inhale and start to let the heart lift up towards the ceiling. Maybe the gaze lifts up towards the ceiling. And the shoulder blades start to wrap around the spine. So this is an inhale. And then on the exhale, start to round in your spine and tuck your chin. So we're doing some seated cat-cows. And continue moving with breath. So as you inhale, collarbone is nice and wide, heart lifts up. And then exhale, round in your spine. Hug your belly button a bit towards your spine and tuck your chin. And 2 more times. Inhale, heart lifts up. And exhale, round your spine, let it go. Inhale, lift the heart up. Maybe you softly gaze up towards the ceiling. And exhale to your cat pose, rounding in the spine. And then finding your way back to a neutral position. Let's come into some spinal twists. So big inhale, reach the arms up nice and high towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, start to twist towards your right. So let your right hand come to the ground, left hand to the right knee. Heart is open nice and wide, and maybe you gaze over your right shoulder. Take another breath in. And exhale, come back towards center. Let the inhale bring your arms up nice and high to the ceiling. And then exhale, twist to your left. So even here, hugging the belly button towards the spine. Your chin is parallel with the floor. And you're feeling a nice twist through the spine, but not being too forceful with this right hand on your left knee. And exhale, come back towards center. Place your right hand down on the mat. Big inhale, reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. Pause here, so really reach and extend through your left fingertips so you feel a nice stretch through the ribs and side body. Breath in. And then gentle exhale, reach over towards your right. And then maybe as you get there, you realize you can drop down just a bit farther. So you're welcome to drop down to your right forearm and elbow. And you can either gaze up at the ceiling, down at the floor, or just straight ahead. And another breath in. And exhale, press yourself back up towards center. Let your left hand drop to the floor. Inhale, reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. And before you go anywhere, extend through those fingertips and feel the stretch in the side body. Inhale. And exhale, reach. So the right bicep maybe right over your right ear. And an option to stay here, maybe you drop down to your left forearm and elbow, and you can feel a bit of a deeper stretch through the side body on the right side. And press yourself up back through center. We'll go to the other side again. Inhale, left arm reaching up. And exhale, reach to your right. Stay here for a breath. Inhale. And then on the exhale, start to let your upper body kind of fold over that right thigh. So the chin is hugging a bit towards the chest, and you're just kind of feeling a bit of a different stretch through the low back area. Next exhale, press yourself back up through center, and we'll go to the other side. Inhale brings that right hand up. Exhale, reach over to your left. Inhale. On the exhale, start to let the upper body fold over this left thigh. And another deep breath in. And exhale, let it go. Come up back through center. So sitting cross-legged, go ahead and we're going to reach for your right knee and the bottom of your right foot. So this will help open up the hips. So from here, you kind of hug the shin in if it feels okay, and start rocking from side to side. And then for a different variation of this, you can wrap your forearms and hands around the shin. And then as you squeeze in, maybe you feel a stretch through that right glute. And then drop your left hand back behind you a bit and extend out that left foot. And go ahead and squeeze your right leg in. And on the exhale, we're just gonna drop down to a tree pose. So your right leg is bent and the sole of the right foot is into the left thigh. And we're extending long in the left foot. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, reach for your left foot. And again, notice here if you're feeling like there's any sort of rush or force. See if you can let this kind of be a gentle stretch. And on the exhale, notice if you can fold or let go a bit more. Lovely. Go ahead and press yourself back up. And let's go ahead and reach for our left foot. So you can either use your hands or wrap the shin all up in your arms here. Squeeze in and a gentle rock from side to side. And then pay attention to the shoulders if you see yourself kind of maybe rounding. Also even using the core here as you're keeping a lift through the upper body. And then drop an arm down for support. We'll extend out the right leg. Inhale as you squeeze that left leg in. And then as you exhale, gently drop it down to your seated tree pose. Again, as you inhale, find length as you reach the arms up. And exhale, reach for the right foot. And another deep breath in. And exhale, let it go. All right, push yourself back up. Why don't we come into our child's pose? So taking your time, we'll find our way, maybe bringing the knees to the edges of your mat, flip onto the tops of your feet. Notice how the knees are feeling. You can always bolster and put a towel between the knees here and start to reach your hands forward. We're gonna let our chest drop down to the mat and allow your forehead to come into contact with something. And again, creating space between the ears and the shoulders. And stay soft through the fingertips, soft through the elbows. Taking a full breath in. And on the exhale, notice if the hips can gently sink back a bit closer towards the heels. So stay in your child's pose for maybe about 3 breaths. Noticing where you can lengthen on an inhale, filling your lungs up. And then really emptying out on an exhale. And do that a couple more times. Last time, full deep breath in. And a nice cleansing exhale out. Pressing your way up to your tabletop position. Go ahead and keep the wrist right underneath the shoulder. Spread your fingertips nice and wide. And we want to engage our core here. Keep the back of your neck nice and long. And kick the right foot back out behind you. And really flex that right foot and really kick through the right heel. And again, activate your core, and then from here, if you'd like, start to reach your left hand forward. So spread through your left fingertips, kick through the right heel, and use the core. We don't want to be sinking into our shoulders. So we're really engaging the arm, the leg, and the core. For 3, 2, and 1. Big breath in. And on the exhale, start to bring your elbow towards your knee. Tuck the chin a bit and kind of round in the spine, almost like that cat pose. So as you inhale, kick and extend the arm and foot out. And exhale, bring in elbow towards knee. And again, inhale as you lengthen out, kick through the hand and foot. Big exhale, squeeze in. Let's hold here for 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, let it go, tabletop position. All right, into the other side. So find your neutral tabletop position, engage your core, and then kick through the left foot. Really kick up to that left heel. So you're flexing your toes so they're down towards the ground. And then if you're feeling good, go ahead and reach the right hand forward. So whatever is in contact with the ground, really press the earth away from you, use the core, and extend through the hand and the foot for 3, 2, and 1. Stay here, inhale. And then as we exhale, slowly elbow towards knee, kind of curl in, round in the spine, tuck the chin a bit. And 2 more times, inhale, kick and reach out. And exhale, bring it in. And inhale, lengthen and reach. Exhale, bring it in. Now really press the earth away from you. Continue squeezing elbow towards knee and hold for 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, release back to your tabletop. Hi. Let's come into downward facing dog. So creep your hands forward a bit. We're going to tuck our toes under. Bend the knees and send the hips up towards the ceiling. As you start in your downward facing dog, really spread the fingertips nice and wide. Press into your finger pads. And again, stay soft and gentle. So some movement through the elbows, bend the knees a bit, and let your head drop. If downward facing dog doesn't feel great, you can always drop down to your dolphin pose, bringing your forearms down towards the ground. From your downward facing dog, maybe bend one of your knees and start to straighten the other. And then on inhale, pull the heels away from the mat. So kind of lift up on your tippy toes in your downward facing dog for a breath in. And then on that exhale, sink the heels down. Really press through the finger pads, engage through the arms. Send your chest back towards your thighs. And again, inhale, lift up on the tippy toes. And exhale, sink your heels. And one more time, inhale, lift up. And exhale, sink the heels. Awesome. Go ahead and bring your gaze towards your hands, and let's slowly start to walk your feet forward to the top of your mat for a forward fold. Okay, forward fold. Hips are feet are hips width distance apart. Bend the knees a bit and fold. Lots of variations you can choose with the hands. Maybe you come into a ragdoll, grab an opposite elbows, or giving yourself a hug at the backs of your knees. Whatever you are doing, just let the head and neck drop as you ground down through the feet. Okay, on your next exhale, gently release the hands down to your mat. And we will inhale, come into a halfway lift, so the fingertips can either stay on the mat or they can come to your shins. So we're creating a flat back here, engage through the core, space between the ears and the shoulders. Exhale and fold forward. And 2 more times. Inhale, lift halfway. So want to press your heart forward. And exhale, fold. And 1 more time. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, fold. Bring your hands down towards the ground. We're going to step your left foot back. Come into a low lunge on the right side. So you can actually leave your back knee lifted if you'd like, or you can go ahead and drop your left knee down. So from here, leave your left hand on the ground. We'll come into a twist. So as you inhale, twist and reach your right hand towards the ceiling. And exhale, lower that hand back down. And to the other side. So inhale, reach your left hand to the ceiling. And exhale, release. To the other side. Inhale, twist and reach your right arm to the ceiling. And then on the exhale, option for a half bind. So if you want to bring the back of your right hand to the low back, notice how your right shoulder can open a bit more. And exhale, lower that hand down. And to the other side. Inhale, twist and reach. On the exhale, half bind if you'd like. Now the back of that left hand to the low back, breathe in. And exhale, release back to your low lunge. So you've got a hand on either side of your right foot. Your right ankle is right underneath your right knee. Tuck your back toe under and come into your runner stretch. So start to straighten through your front leg. Flex your right toes towards your face. For a deeper stretch, start to fold your upper body over this right leg. So should be feeling a stretch through the back of the right leg. Start to bend in your right knee. Bring your right foot to the floor. Have a hand on either side of the foot. Tuck this back toe under. Lift the hips up and ground down through the left foot. So the left foot is kind of angled up at the top left-hand corner of my mat. We're folding over that right thigh. Really grounded down and anchored through our feet. If this doesn't feel okay on the knees, feel free to bring a little bit of a bend to both of your knees. We'll shift our way into a standing split. So leaving the hands on the mat, we're going to put our body weight into our front right foot and begin lifting your left foot up towards the ceiling. And adjust your hands wherever you feel supported. Want to fold the upper body over this right leg. And continue lifting your left heel up towards the ceiling. And then a different variation here would be to bring your hands to your right ankle. So then the only thing that would be in contact on the floor would be that right foot. So really focusing on breath, being present, really engaging the muscles of the leg for 3, 2 and 1. Lower your hands, lower that foot, forward fold. Feet are about hips width distance apart. Bend your knees and let go. As you take a breath in, come into a halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Go ahead and step your right foot to the back edge of the mat. We'll drop into a low lunge here. So make sure your left toes are facing directly forward. Your left knee is right over that left ankle. So we'll start by leaving our right hand down on the floor. Take a breath in, twist and reach the left arm up towards the ceiling. And on your exhale, lower down and switch your sides. Inhale brings that arm up. And exhale, lower down. And to the other side, remember you're welcome to come into a half bind in this one. On that exhale, just to get a bit of a deeper opening through the shoulder. And then on that exhale, lower down. Nice. Last time here, big inhale, twist and reach up. Exhale as you come into that half bind. And then exhale, release back to that low lunge. Tuck your back toes under. Let's shift back to our runner's stretch. Work on straightening through your left leg, flexing your left toes towards the face, and feeling a stretch through the back of your left leg. Notice on the exhale as you breathe out, if there's anywhere more where you can just soften a little bit more. And then from here, start to bend in your left knee. Bring that left foot to the floor. We're going to lift up through the hips and ground down through this right foot. So we're working on both legs being straight. And you're really grounding down through the mound of the big toe and the heel in both your feet, and fold over your left thigh. Again, option to bend your knees or bring the feet closer towards one another if this stretch is feeling too much. We're going to shift our weight into our standing split. So we're going to shift our body weight into our left foot, start to straighten through the legs, and lift your right heel. And folding the body over that left leg, so nose towards the left knee. And notice this lifted leg, so you should be kicking out through this right heel, really engaging the leg, sort of like how we were doing in our tabletop position. Option to bring both hands to the left ankle, and even here, using your core to keep the balance. For 3, 2, and 1. Relax, forward fold, soften through your knees, both feet down on the floor. Bring your right hand between the 2 feet. So make sure your feet are parallel with the toes facing 12 o'clock. Start to bend through your right knee, straighten through your left leg, and we will twist and reach the left arm up towards the ceiling. Should be feeling a stretch through your left leg and glute area. And on the exhale, fold forward. And then left hand between the 2 feet. Bend just a tiny bit in your left leg. Really ground down through the feet. Straighten a bit through that right leg. And twist and reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. And another breath in. And exhale, let it go, forward fold. Okay. Inhale, come into your halfway lift. So let the heart pull forward, nice flat back. Breathe out and fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand. So really ground down through the feet. Engage the legs and sweep the arms up. Maybe you press through the feet, press the hips forward, lean back, breath in. Bend your knees slightly, exhale, fold forward. And a couple more half sun salutations. Inhale, lift halfway. Breathe out and fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up. Really ground down through your feet. Sweep the arms up. Maybe you look up at the ceiling. You can get a nice little back bend in. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Breathe out, let it go. Breath in, rise up. We'll do that one more time. Sweep the arms up, press through the feet. Exhale as you fold. Awesome. Continue using the breath. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, press through the feet, rise up. Exhale, let it go, fold forward. Place your hands down on your mat and let's step back to a high plank. Engaging your core and keeping your wrists right underneath your shoulders. Have a soft bend through the elbows though. You always have the option to drop your knees here. Pressing the earth away from us, back of the neck is nice and long. And engage your core for 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, drop your knees. And then drop your hips. Flip onto the tops of your feet a little bit. And bend the elbows and just kind of rock from side to side. And then from here, let's press back to child's pose for a couple breaths. And maybe you notice if the child's pose feels any different, if there's some more length in here, if things are a bit more warmed up. And we'll stay for 3 breaths. On your last exhale, let's creep our hands forward. Tuck the toes, lift on up, downward facing dog. Okay, from our downward facing dog, let's roll up to a high plank. We're going to come into a side plank on the right side. So leave your right hand down. Keep the hips lifted and reach the left hand up towards the ceiling. So you can always drop your right knee here for support. Awesome. So engaging through the core, keep the hips lifted. And then shift your way back towards your high plank. And then left hand to the center of your mat. Twist and reach your right hand towards the ceiling. Really grounding down through the left hand, engaging through the arm for 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, back, high plank. And as you exhale, start to lower down to a low plank. So see if you can squeeze the elbows in towards the ribs and lower all the way down. Okay, flip onto the tops of your feet. Leave your elbows bent sort of close towards the ribs, and we will inhale to a baby upward facing dog. So elbows are bent, hugging towards the ribs, and your hands are just right underneath the shoulders. So letting the heart open up, really using the upper back muscles. Breath in. And exhale, lower down. So from here, shift back to downward facing dog. Maybe you go through a tabletop. Bend the knees and lift the hips up. From here, you've got the option to come into a 3-legged dog. So if you'd like, inhale, reach your right heel towards the ceiling. So continue pressing your chest back towards your left thigh and working the left heel down towards the ground. We're going to step our right foot forward. We're going to come into a crescent lunge. So the right foot is forward between the 2 hands. All 10 toes are facing forward. So you've got your back heel lifted up off the ground. So if the balance is feeling a little bit shaky, have some distance between the feet here. Okay. So go ahead and reach the hands up towards the ceiling if that's feeling all right. And check in with the feet. So the right toes facing forward with the knee right over the ankle. And we're really strong in our foundation, so the legs are really powered up and we're feeling light in the upper body. And from here, inhale. And on the exhale, find your warrior two. So spin your left foot down towards the ground. And then adjust the feet here. So if the right foot was out towards the right edge of your mat, kind of guide it in towards the middle so it intersects right through the middle of that left foot. Okay. We got our shoulders over our hips. We're really strong in the legs. And the shoulders are melting down the back, reaching through the fingertips. From here, take a breath in and start to straighten through that front leg and reach the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, sink to your warrior two. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, press and lift. And exhale, lower down. And 1 more time. Inhale, press, even reach through your fingertips to engage the arms. And exhale, warrior two. Okay, gazing over the front middle finger. Inhale, flip your front palm, and let's revolve and reach back. So before we keep reaching back, notice if you can reach up. So creating that length through the side body. And then on an exhale, can you just gently and gracefully reach back? And we're still pressing down through the feet and float into your side angle. So let the right elbow come to the top of the right thigh. Maybe bring your gaze up towards the ceiling and notice how it helps open up the heart and reach the left hand towards the ceiling. And then as you continue reaching with those left fingertips, we don't want to be putting too much weight into our right shoulder and right elbow. Option for a half bind here if the back of that left hand wants to come to the low back, or maybe it even creeps onto the top of the right thigh. Okay, come on back to your warrior two, but stay low in your feet, low in the legs. Inhale, flip the front palm and revolve. And on the exhale, we're gonna bring both hands down on either side of the foot. Come onto the ball of the left foot, and we'll drop into deepest lunge. So start walking your right foot out towards the edge of the mat. You've got both hands on the inside of the right foot, and drop your back knee. Maybe untuck the back toes if they were tucked. You should be feeling a stretch through the left hip flexors and quadricep, through the hips. For a deeper stretch, you can drop down to your forearms. And that kind of gives a bit of a deeper stretch through the right hamstring and adductors a bit. And just let your head hang heavy. Start to press up to your hands if you were down on your forearms, and we'll try out just a different stretch. So start to turn your right foot to 2 o'clock. And you're gonna roll onto the pinky edge side of that right foot so you see the sole of the right foot. If this is causing pain in your hips, definitely don't do it. So bring your right hand to around the right knee or the right thigh. And if you'd like, give it just a gentle press to even get more of an opening through the hips, and we're still sinking down on each exhale. Slowly make your way back. So bring that right foot down towards the ground and lower your right hand. Okay. We're going to shift back to a high plank, but we'll get there a fun way. So tuck your back toe under, lift your back leg, really press down through the hands, and kind of start to hover the right foot up off the floor, and then send it back to your high plank. Big exhale, downward facing dog. Lift those hips up. All right, so we're gonna do that all on the other side. So you're welcome to stay in downward facing dog, or if you'd like a three-legged dog, go ahead and reach the left heel up towards the ceiling. And remember, you're still working your right heel down towards the ground and still pressing your chest back towards your right thigh. And then however you would like to get there, step the left foot forward between your two hands. And take as much time as you need here. So if you have better balance with your feet like they're on train tracks, go ahead and separate them a bit. And we're going to rise up to crescent lunge. So again, my back heel is lifted. You can always drop your back knee here. And make sure you can see your left toes, so the knee is right over your ankle. And if you're feeling okay with it, lift your arms up. The dog can't decide what he's damn doing. Okay, really ground down through the feet, power up through the legs. A breath in. Exhale, slowly and gently, warrior two. So we're twisting and anchoring down this back foot. So the foot is about parallel with the back edge of the mat. Then we want the front foot to be right in the middle, intersecting that back foot. Awesome. And make sure your left knee is over your ankle, so it can have a tendency to kind of drop in towards the middle, but to protect the knee, see if you can really activate the muscles and have it be over the ankle. Okay, so we're hugging energy up and in, relax through the shoulders. Okay, inhale, press through the feet, straighten and reach, arms lift up overhead. Big exhale, sink back down, warrior two. Two more times. Inhale, press and reach. Exhale, let it go, warrior two. And again. Inhale, reach, press, lift. And exhale, warrior two. So when you're warrior two, really reach through the fingertips. So notice if you can become aware of your ring finger on either hand. Really lengthen through it. We're gazing over your front middle finger. Don't forget to breathe. And then we'll revolve. So on an inhale, flip your front palm, reach up. And then on an exhale, notice if you can reach back. And then float into your side angle. So bring the left elbow to top of the left thigh. Twist the body open and raise your right hand towards the ceiling. And again, not putting too much weight in this left elbow and left shoulder. So we're using our core. Option for a half bind if you'd like, coming to the low back. And let that heart stay lifted, twisting open through that right shoulder. Stay grounded in the feet, low in the front leg, come back, warrior two. Awesome, inhale, flip the front palm and revolve. Exhale, we're gonna come into our deepest lunge. So come onto the ball of the back foot, bring the hands down towards the ground, and start to drop the back knee, and then bring this left foot out towards the edge of your mat. Great, so just focusing on your breath, releasing through the head and neck. Deciding if gentle movements would feel good for you to maybe stretch and open up a few more spaces. And then if you'd like, lowering down to your forearms. And you can stay as you are if you'd like. Press back up to the hands. Turn your left foot out to 10 o'clock. Roll onto the pinky edge side of the foot so you can see the sole of that left foot. Left hand super gently coming to the knee or your thigh for an opening. So even here, an opportunity to kind of open the heart up. And then finding your way back. So lowering that left foot, bring your left hand down towards the ground. We'll find our way back into high plank, that super fun way. So tuck your back toes under, lift that back knee, engage the core, hover that left foot, and send it back, high plank. Big exhale, downward facing dog. And start to walk your feet up towards your hands. And bend your knees and just lower down. We'll come into a seated position. And extend both your legs out long. We'll come into a forward fold. So as you inhale, reach the arms up. Again, create that space. Lengthen through the fingertips. And then as you exhale, see if you can let the heart lead the way in this fold. And then if the hands aren't quite at the feet, you've always got the option for using a yoga strap or a towel, or just simply bringing your hands to the ground in kind of a tented position. And notice if you can soften a bit through the belly and fold a bit more on your exhale. Gently find your way out of that. We'll come into a seated butterfly. So bring the soles of your feet together. So before we start to fold, kind of find your full expression. So you've got the option to bring your forearms or elbows a bit to your inner thighs to help open the hips a bit more. And again, belly button is hugging towards the spine, the heart's lifting, shoulders relaxed. Use your breath to inhale and find some length. And then exhale, begin to fold forward. See if you can let the heart lead the way on this one. And there is no rush. And as you continue folding, release through the head and neck. So maybe shake your head yes and no. And let the back of the neck get long as you kind of tuck your chin just a bit. And press your way back up. We'll actually lower all the way down. So extend your legs out nice and long and lay down on your back. Bring both your feet up towards the ceiling for your waterfall. And so let gravity help you with this. This is awesome to do right before bed if you just slide yourself up against a wall and there's really not much to do. You actually do less, just allow the magic to happen with the feet lifting up. And as you exhale, bend your knees and bring your feet to the floor. But let your feet come to the edges of the mat. And so your knees fall in towards one another. And the knees actually hold each other up. And as we begin to end our practice, really slow down and focus on the breath. So see if you can inhale for a count of 4. Hold for a count of 4. And then a slow, long exhale out through the mouth for a count of 6. And from here, squeeze both knees into your chest. And again, we're still moving mindfully and with purpose. Squeeze the shins and knees in. Keep your right knee hugging in towards the right shoulder. Kick your left leg out long on the floor. We'll shift into a spinal twist. So guide your right leg up and over the left and really twist onto the side of the left leg. and thigh. See if you can keep your shoulders down on the ground. So feeling a nice twist through the spine, the glute. Keep a soft gaze either up at the ceiling or maybe you twist and glance over at your right fingertips. Finding your way back towards center, either hugging both shins in or just going right to the opposite side. Hugging the left knee into the left shoulder. Let the right leg lay on the floor nice and long and twist the leg up and over. So now we're rolling onto the outer edge of our right leg and thigh. Continue with your nice steady breath. And then find your way back towards center. Keep with the calmness and we'll shift into our final resting pose for just a minute. So let the hands and feet just kind of fall out wherever they're comfortable. And close your eyes down. Just allow yourself to be just for a moment so you have the opportunity to kind of clear the mind and allow the practice to settle and integrate into you and just notice how you feel. Notice if there's any muscles through the face that are feeling tense, so the space between the brows or the jaw. Notice the fingertips and the shoulders. And slowly begin to hug your knees into your chest, either as slowly or as quickly that feels good for you. We'll rock and shift our way up to a comfortable seated position, just like how we started. And so we'll feel